anything I'd ever rode in my life. Grace car was shinier than anything I'd ever rode in my life. Rosalie up front, singing along, cutting through the morning like a knife. We passed the fields where I once picked cotton till my hands turned raw. We passed the fields where I once picked cotton till my hands turned raw. I pressed my face against the window, tried to swallow all I saw. Highway to Memphis, rolling under a Delta sun. Highway to Memphis, rolling under a Delta sun. Leaving everything behind me for a life that's just begun. We talked the whole way up there about the studio and the sound. We talked the whole way up there about the studio and the sound. Said they're gonna hear you, Jesse Cole, all across this town and beyond. Highway to Memphis, rolling under a Delta sun. Highway to Memphis, rolling under a Delta sun. Leaving everything behind me for a life that's just begun. I thought about Big Sam standing in the doorway, arms crossed tight. I thought about Big Sam standing in the doorway, arms crossed tight. Didn't wave goodbye, just watched us drive off into the light. Rosalie squeezed my hand and said, "Don't you look back now, baby." Rosalie squeezed my hand and said, "Don't you look back now, baby." But something in my chest kept aching like an old familiar melody. Highway to Memphis, rolling under a Delta sun. Highway to Memphis, rolling under a Delta sun. Leaving everything behind me for a life that's just begun. Well, we stopped for gas outside of town, I didn't know the name. We stopped for gas outside of town, I didn't know the name. We bought cigarettes and coffee, said, "Kid, ain't nothing gonna be the same." I stepped outside and stretched my legs, looked up at the wide open sky. I stepped outside and stretched my legs, looked up at the wide open sky. Wondered if Delilah ever saw this same road when she said goodbye. There's a strange kind of quiet that comes over a man when he realizes he's already too far gone to turn around. I stood by that gas station, 6 strings resting against my leg, and I thought about every road that brought me here. The midnight train that took Delilah, the crossroads outside Clarksville, Big Sam's hand on my shoulder, the first night he called me something more than a stranger. Ray honked the horn, said, "Come on, Jesse. Memphis, don't wait for nobody." I climbed back in that car, Rosalie smiled at me like I was already famous. I smiled back, but my heart was still standing at the gas station, watching the road behind me disappear into the dust. My hands had gone half numb. By the time we hit the city lights, my hands had gone half numb. Memphis rose up all around us like the beat of a giant drum. Neon signs and blaring horns, more people than I'd ever seen. Neon signs and blaring horns, more people than I'd ever seen. We grinned wide and said, "Welcome you're meant to be.
Sign that read Starlight Sound. We pulled up to a building with a sign that read Starlight Sound. My heart was racing faster than I'd ever felt it pound. Highway to Memphis, and now the highway's done. Highway to Memphis, under a brand new rising sun. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and a whole race to run.
She started sleeping later, waking up before I'd rise. She started sleeping later, waking up before I'd rise. I kept her staring out the window with a distance in her eyes. I asked her once what's troubling her. She said nothing, I'm just tired. She asked her once what's troubling her. She said nothing, I'm just tired. But tired don't explain the way her warmth had slow retired. There's a silence coming off of Rosalie, colder than a Memphis rain. There's a silence coming off of Rosalie, colder than a Memphis rain. I keep asking what I did wrong, but she won't say it plain. She used to wait by the stage door, now she waits in the car instead. She used to wait by the stage door, now she waits in the car instead. Used to hang on every word I sang, now there's just quiet words unsaid. There's a silence coming off Rosalie, colder than a Memphis rain. There's a silence coming off Rosalie, colder than a Memphis rain. I keep asking what I did wrong, but she won't say it plain. I saw her one night on the phone, voice low, back turned to me. I saw her one night on the phone, voice low, back turned to me. Caught the name Ray fall soft between the words I couldn't see. I told myself it's business, that's all it's ever been. I told myself it's business, that's all it's ever been. But something in my gut kept whispering what my mind wouldn't let in. There's a silence coming off of Rosalie, colder than a Memphis rain. There's a silence coming off of Rosalie, colder than a Memphis rain. I keep asking what I did wrong, but she won't say it plain. I brought her flowers on a Tuesday, tried to bring the old spark back. I brought her flowers on a Tuesday, tried to bring the old spark back. She smiled polite and thanked me kindly, but her eyes stayed on the black. I asked her straight, do you still love me, or is this just a show? I asked her straight, do you still love me, or is this just a show? She looked at me a long, long moment, said, Jesse, I don't rightly know. That answer sat heavier on me than any fine print Ray ever wrote. I'd spent so long fighting for percentages and contracts. I never stopped to ask if the woman standing next to me through it all was even still standing there for me, or just for what I'd become. I thought about Delilah, about the note she left on that kitchen table. I can't live here watching you stay the same. Funny how a man can change. So much on the outside, the suits, the crowds, the 40%, and still end up losing a woman for reasons that sound near the same. Rosalie touched my hand that night, gentle, almost sad, like she was already saying goodbye without the words to match. I ain't leaving yet, she said, but I don't know how much longer I can watch you disappear. By morning she was gone before I woke, note left on the stand. By morning she was gone before I woke, note left on the stand. Said gonna clear my head a while, Jesse, try to understand. Feeling the room grow wide. I sat there with that folded note, feeling the room grow wide, wondering if every woman in my life was destined just to leave my side. There's a silence coming over Rosalie, and now she's finally gone. There's a silence coming over Rosalie, but I gotta carry on. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and another empty dawn. It was deep into the autumn when June his pains began. I ran for the midwife barefoot, the guitar left behind, just a running man. Loretta came to sit with her, steady hands and steady voice. Loretta came to sit with her, steady hands and steady voice. Told me men wait outside for this one, Jesse ain't really got a choice. The night our boy was born, I paced that porch till dawn. The night our boy was born, every fear I'd ever known was drawn right up to the surface, waiting on a first cry to come along. Willie sat with me the whole night through, passing round a flask of rye. Willie sat with me the whole night through, passing round a flask of rye. Said I remember pacing just like this, thought that I would die. The night our boy was born, I paced that porch till dawn.
to come along. I was past like they were years, the house lit up with lamps. I was past like they were years, the house lit up with lamps. I prayed the way my mama taught me, prayed away every cram. Then just before the sun came up, a sound cut through the air. Then just before the sun came up, a sound cut through the air. A crying, wailing, beautiful sound, answer to my every prayer. Loretta came out smiling wide, said come on in and see. Loretta came out smiling wide, said come on in and see. I ran inside with shaking hands, heart pounding, fierce and free. Yeah, the night our boy was born, I paced that porch till dawn. The night our boy was born, every fear I'd ever known was drawn right up to the surface, waiting on a first cry to come along. Junie lay there tired and glowing, holding something small and new. Junie lay there tired and glowing, holding something small and new. She looked up at me smiling, said, Jesse, come meet him, come on through. I sat down slow beside the bed, hands too rough for something so small. I sat down slow beside the bed, hands too rough for something so small. She placed him in my arms so gentle, and I forgot my fears, forgot them all. I held that boy in my arms and I couldn't find a single word for a long, long while. I thought about my own daddy, about the guitar he left me, about every hard road that guitar carried me down before it ever led me here. I thought about Delilah's midnight train, about how far that heartbreak had pushed me before it finally turned into something worth finding. I looked down at my son, tiny fingers wrapped around my thumb, and I made him the same kind of promise my daddy probably made to me. Without ever saying it out loud, I promised I'd teach him every honest thing I'd learned the hard way, so maybe he wouldn't have to learn it quite so hard himself. Junie watched me with tears in her eyes and said, what are we naming him, Jesse? I didn't even have to think on it. Samuel. I said, Samuel Cole. After the man who taught his daddy what the blues was really for. Reckon that's the finest thing that this old fiddler knows. Willie Marks came by that evening, passed the boy from arm to arm. Willie Marks came by that evening, passed the boy from arm to arm. Said, welcome to the world, little Sam. May you grow up free from harm. Watching him breathe soft and steady, singing low till near the break of dawn. The night our boy was born changed me more than any state. More than any state. The night our boy was born turned a brand new honest page, a brand new page. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and a son to guide through every age. Jesse stands out back and feels his stomach turn to water. Bigger than any juke joint, bigger than any hall. Backstage smells like sawdust and 100 cigarettes. A band he's never met is tuning up behind the door. Calloway says these are your boys now, they'll back you on the tour. Jesse shakes their hands but wonders what Big Sam's playing for. The house lights dim and someone hollers out his name. Jesse walks the boys like walking on a frozen creek. His 6 strings feel heavier than they ever felt before, standing where 1,000 eyes are waiting him to speak. First chord rings out shaky, then it finds its feet. The crowd goes quiet like a congregation bowing low. Jesse closes both his eyes and sees the Delta fields again. Sees the porch, the dust, the only home he used to know. Second song, the crowd starts clapping to the driving beat. Some girl up front is dancing with her eyes shut tight. Jesse feels a fire climbing up along his spine, different from the fires that he's felt on smaller nights. Third song's the one about the whiskey and the train. The whole room sings the chorus like they've always known the words. Jesse's chest goes tight with something he can't quite explain, a feeling bigger than the biggest sound he's ever heard. And the stage lights burn like sunrise, and the crowd feels like a flood. Something's rising up inside him, something moving through his blood. 6 strings on the big stage, midnight trains roar. Whiskey glass forgotten in the thunder of the crowd. 6 strings on the big stage, I ain't a boy no more. First time in my whole life I'm standing tall and loud. After the show, a line of faces waits behind the curtain. Girls with pens and paper, men with bottles in their hand. Someone hands him whiskey like it's water, like it's nothing. Jesse hesitates a moment, then he lets it warm his hand. Calloway's laughing loud, already talking bigger cities. Talking Nashville, talking Chicago, talking names Jesse don't know. Jesse drinks a little more than he was drinking back in Clarksdale. Tells himself it's just tonight, just one more, we'll see how it goes. Later, in the quiet of the hotel room, Jesse sat on the edge of a bed too soft for Delta bones. His 6 strings leaning in the corner like a patient friend, and looked at his own reflection in the dark window glass. He thought about the boy who used to sleep in barns, who used to play for coins and cornbread, and wondered when exactly that boy had started disappearing. The whiskey in his glass wasn't the same whiskey Big Sam poured. It came in a different bottle from a different kind of man, handed to him by people who wanted something from his sound. He thought, just one drink don't change a man, just one big stage don't change a man. But somewhere far off, quiet as a whisper, a small voice reminded him that rivers don't change all at once either. They just bend a little more and a little more, until one day you look up and you're somewhere you never meant to be. More morning comes the sunlight harsh against his tired eyes. Calloway's already knocking, talking schedules, talking fame. Jesse packs his 6 string slow, remembering the porch at home, wondering if the boy from Clarksdale still deserves his name. comic answers. One more, just one more. Cheering and Reed tangled in the hall. Two sounds rising higher than the stage lights, higher than it all. Six strings on the big stage, midnight trains a roar. Whiskey glass forgotten in the thunder of the crowd. Six strings on the big stage, I ain't a boy no more. Big Sam's far off watching, Delilah's in the clouds. Daddy's guitar is ringing louder than it's ever rung. Six strings on the big stage, my story's just begun. Jackson fade behind him as the car pulls out at dawn. Callaway talks Nashville like it's already won. Jassy looks out the window at the fields rolling past. Six strings in the backseat, wondering what he's become. Callaway drives him south to a hall in Jackson Town. A marquee with his name spelled wrong, but spelled bright and tall. Jesse stands out back and feels his stomach turn to water. Bigger than any juke joint, bigger than any hall. Backstage smells like sawdust and 100 cigarettes. A band he's never met is tuning up behind the door. Callaway says, these are you boys now, they'll back you on the tour. Jesse shakes their hands but wonders what Big Sam's playing for. Cause the house lights dim and someone hollers out his name. Jesse walks the boards like walking on the frozen creek.
Days at the Copper Kettle, sleeping in the same old room. I stayed 3 days at the Copper Kettle, sleeping in the same old room. Waking up the Otis sweeping and the smell of morning coming through. Big Sam and I sat every evening talking low past closing time. Big Sam and I sat every evening talking low past closing time. He never once said I told you so, just help me sort the truth from the shine. This is where the story bends, back to the roads I used to know. This is where the story bends, but I ain't the same man I was though. I carry Memphis in my bones now, everywhere I go. I asked Big Sam what he thought I should do, stay here or head back out. I asked Big Sam what he thought I should do, stay here or head back out. He just smiled and shook his head, said, son, that ain't what this is about. This is where the story bends, back to the roads I used to know. This is where the story bends, but I ain't the same man I was though. I carry Memphis in my bones now, everywhere I go. You didn't come back here to hide, he said you came back here to see. You didn't come back here to hide, he said you came back here to see what kind of man you want to be now that the choice is finally free. I thought about Delilah's midnight train still rolling somewhere out there. I thought about Delilah's midnight train still rolling somewhere out there. Thought about every road I'd walked since, every burden I used to bear. For the first time since that night she left, I didn't feel the ache the same. For the first time since that night she left, I didn't feel the ache the same. It had turned to something quieter, more like a well-worn, honest name. This is where the story bends, back to the roads I used to know. This is where the story bends, but I ain't the same man I was though. I carry Memphis in my bones now, everywhere I go. Big Sam pulled out an old-worn map, spread it across the bar. Big Sam pulled out an old-worn map, spread it across the bar. Said there's towns out there ain't never heard a note from your guitar. You could stay here safe with me and Otis, play it easy, play it slow. You could stay here safe with me and know just play it easy, play it slow. Or you could go find out what kind of music comes from a man who chooses where he'll go. I sat with that map a long while, tracing roads I'd never walked, towns with names I couldn't pronounce, rivers I'd only heard about in songs. And I realized something Big Sam had been trying to teach me since the very first night he found me singing on that street corner. The music was never about ending up anywhere. It was about the walking itself. The towns, the strangers, the bar rooms and the porches, the heartbreak turned to sound. Delilah's leaving put me on this road, Rosalie. And Ray tried to build me a cage along the way, but the road was always mine, every mile of it, whether I could see that or not. I folded that map and looked at Big Sam. I ain't running this time, I told him I'm choosing. He nodded slow, poured us both one more drink, and said, "That's the only kind of leaving that ever amounts to anything, son." In my hand, Big Sam and Otis both walked out to see me off across that land. "Don't be a stranger," Big Sam said, "Boy, it's a little rough and low." "Don't be a stranger," Big Sam said, "Boy, it's a little rough and low. This town will still be standing whenever you got somewhere to go." I hugged him tight, an old man's arm still steadier than my own. Thanked him for every lesson, every warning he had shown. Oh, now Jesse, I walked out past the edge of town where the highway stretched out wide. I walked out past the edge of town where the highway stretched out wide. No contract, no green-eyed woman, just the open road and my own stride. Oh, this is where the story bends, and I'm choosing where to go, where to go. This is where the story bends, and only I get to say how it flows. How it flows. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and a road everywhere I go. Big Sam what he thought I should do, stay here or head back out. I stayed 3 days at the Copper Kettle, sleeping in the same old room, waking with the odor sweeping and the smell of moan coming through. Big Sam and I sat every evening talking low past closing time. Big Sam and I sat every evening talking low past closing time. He never once said I told you so, just help me set the truth from the shine. This is where the story bends, back to the roads I used to know. This is where the story bends, but I ain't the same man I was though. I carry Memphis in my bones now, everywhere I go. I asked Big Sam what he thought I should do, stay here or head back out. I asked Big Days if he got the cattle, sleeping in the same old room, waking the odor sweeping and the smell of morning coming through. Big Sam and I sat every evening talking low past closing time. Big Sam and I sat every evening talking low past closing time. call. St. Louis blurs to Kansas City blurs to who knows where. Every hotel room, the same gold curtain, same tall mirror. Every whiskey glass refilled by hands that seem to care. Ray books the schedule tighter, says strike while the iron's hot. 3 shows a week becomes near 5, then 6 without a rest. Jesse's voice grows rougher, but the crowds don't seem to notice. They just want the Diamond Prince to give them all his best. Loretta tries to slow him, says you're running yourself thin. Jesse waves her off and says this is what the people pay. She watches from the wings each night with worry in her posture, watching how his hands now shake before the whiskey's laid. A woman finds him after shows now, different every city. Says she loves his music, says she's followed him for years. Jesse's lonely in the crowd of 10,000 people cheering. Sometimes lets the loneliness dissolve into 7 fears. Oh, Loretta finds a lipstick on a collar in Ohio. Doesn't say a word but packs a bag before the dawn. Jesse wakes up to a note instead of her beside him. I love the boy from Clarksdale, I don't know where he's gone. He reads it twice and sets it down and reaches for the whiskey. Third one of the morning doesn't count them anymore. Ray walks in with schedules, doesn't ask about Loretta, just says we got Cleveland tonight and shuts the hotel door. And the rooms all start to blur now and the faces start to fade. And somewhere back in Clarksdale there's a debt he hasn't paid. 6 strings in too many rooms, midnight train forgotten. Whiskey glass keep filling up while everything I love walks out. 6 strings in too many rooms, everything feels rotten. I used to know the reason why I sing, but now I doubt. Big Sam writes another letter, this one shorter than the last. Says I heard about the girl, son, I'm sorry that she's gone. A man can't chase the whole world and hold on to what matters. You're running faster, Jesse, but I fear you're running wrong. Jesse folds a letter, smaller than the ones before it, puts it with the others in a drawer he doesn't check. Ray knocks again with contracts, bigger numbers, bigger cities. Jesse signs without much reading, adds another check. Somewhere around Cleveland, in a room that looked exactly like every other room he'd slept in for the past 6 months, Jesse woke up at 4 in the morning and didn't know what city he was in. He lay there in the dark, listened to his own heartbeat, and realized he couldn't remember the last time he played guitar just because he wanted to. Not for a crowd, not for a check, not for Calloway, not even for himself, just for the simple joy of a chord ringing true in an empty room. He thought about Loretta's note, folded somewhere in his jacket pocket, the paper going soft from how many times he'd unfolded it and read it again. He thought about Delilah on that first midnight train, so many years and so many rooms ago. He thought, when did leaving become the only thing I know how to do? He didn't have an answer, he just lay there until the sun came up gray through the curtains. And then he got up and got dressed, because there was a show that night. And the show, Ray always said, the show must go on. Cleveland's crowd don't know Loretta's gone, don't know about the letters, don't know the whiskey glasses stacking higher every night. They just want the music, want the Diamond Prince performing. Jesse gives it to them, hides a hollow out of sight.
walks out. Six strings in too many rooms, everything feels rotten. Big Sam's letters piling up, I can't make out. Daddy's guitar is heavy now, with everything I lost. Six strings in too many rooms, I'm counting up the cost. Cleveland empties out at midnight, buses waiting in the rain. Jesse climbs aboard alone, Loretta's note still creased. Six strings in the seat beside him, like the last true friend he's got. Riding on to one more city, one more show, one more feast. The tour keeps rolling on through cities Jesse can't recall. St. Louis blurs to Kansas City, blurs to who knows where. Every hotel room, the same gold curtain, the same tall mirror. Every whiskey glass refilled by hands that seem to care. Read books, the schedule tighter says strike while the iron's hot. 3 shows a week becomes near 5, then 6 without a rest. Jesse's voice grows gruffer, but the crowds don't seem to notice. They just want the diamond grips to give them all his best. Loretta tries to slow him, says you're running yourself thin. Jesse waves her off and says this is what the people paid.
I've been walking near a week now since I left Clarksville behind. I've been walking near a week now since I left Clarksville behind. No map worth following, just my own feet and an open mind. Slept in barns and empty church pews wherever I could lay. Slept in barns and empty church pews wherever I could lay. Played for supper in 3 towns so far, made it another day. I'm headed nowhere in particular, just following the bend. I'm headed nowhere in particular, to no beginning and no end. Just me and 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. A farmer gave me a ride to Greenwood, said you look like trouble, son. A farmer gave me a ride to Greenwood, said you look like trouble, son. I laughed and told him trouble's just another name for someone on the run. I'm headed nowhere in particular, just following the bend. I'm headed nowhere in particular, no beginning and no end. Just me and 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. I played on a corner in Greenwood Square, hat out on the ground. I played on a corner in Greenwood Square, hat out on the ground. Made enough for a bowl of stew and a bottle passed around. A group of young men gathered near, guitar slung on their backs too. A group of young men gathered near, guitar slung on their backs too. Said, mister, that sound you're making we ain't never heard, nothing quite that true. I told him I used to have a record playing on the radio. I told him I used to have a record playing on the radio. They just looked at me confused, said, then why you out here? Why you travel so? I'm headed nowhere in particular, just following the bend. I'm headed nowhere in particular, no beginning and no end. Just me and 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. I told him the truth, plain and simple. I went and lost myself somewhere. I told him the truth, plain and simple. I went and lost myself somewhere. Figured the only way to find him was to walk on back to nowhere. They laughed not unkind and one of them said, well, nowhere's
a mighty fine place to start. They laughed, not unkind, and one of them said, well, nowhere's a mighty fine place to start. Beach somewhere that cost you every honest piece of your heart. That young man's words stuck with me longer than I expected they would. I sat that night by a little fire outside of Greenwood, guitar across my knee. And I thought about how strange it was, feeling more free with empty pockets than I ever felt with Ray Kingston's money lining my coat. There's a kind of peace in not knowing where you're sleeping tomorrow, long as you know exactly who's doing the sleeping. I thought about Big Sam's map, all them towns with unfamiliar names, and I understood finally why he never once tried to talk me out of leaving the kettle. Some men need a destination. I was starting to think I just needed the road itself and enough truth in my hands to turn every mile of it into a song worth singing. I traveled on through Yazoo City, then down toward Vicksburg Way. I traveled on through Yazoo City, then down toward Vicksburg Way. Been picking up a little money and a little peace with every passing day. Met an old blind preacher playing hymns turned into blues. Met an old blind preacher playing hymns turned into blues. He said, son, the Lord and the devil both listen to the very same news. Going on within. I'm headed nowhere in particular, and Lord, it feels so right, feels so right. I'm headed nowhere in particular, walking through the day and night, day and night. Got 6 strings on the shoulder and a freedom burning and bright.
Left Clarksville behind, no map worth following, just my own feet and an open mind. Slept in barns and empty church pews wherever I could lay. Slept in barns and empty church pews wherever I could lay. Played for supper in 3 towns so far, made it another day. I'm headed nowhere in particular, just following the band. I'm headed nowhere in particular, no beginning and no end. Just me and 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. A farmer gave me a ride to Greenwood, said you look like trouble, son. A farmer gave me a ride to Greenwood, said you look like trouble, son. I laughed and told him trouble's just another name for someone on the run. I'm headed nowhere in particular, just following the band. I'm headed nowhere in particular, no beginning and no end. Just me and 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. I played on a corner in Greenwood Square, had out on the ground. I played on a corner in Greenwood Square, had out on the ground. Made enough for a bowl of stew and a bottle passed around. A group of young men gathered near, guitars slung on their backs too. A group of young men gathered near, guitars slung on their backs too. Said, mister, that sound you're making, we ain't never heard nothing quite that true. I told him I used to have a record playing on the radio. I told him I used to have a record playing on the radio. They just looked at me confused, said, then why you out here? Why you travel so? I'm heading nowhere in particular, just following the band. I'm heading nowhere in particular, no beginning and no end. Just me and 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. I told him the truth, plain and simple. I went and lost myself somewhere. I told him the truth, plain and simple. I went and lost myself somewhere. Figured the only way to find him was to walk on back to nowhere. They laughed not unkind, and one of them said, well, nowhere's a mighty fine place to start. They laughed not unkind, and one of them said, well, nowhere's a mighty fine place to start. Beat somewhere that cost you every honest piece of your heart. That young man's words stuck with me longer than I expected they would. I sat that night by a little fire outside of Greenwood, guitar across my knee. And I thought about how strange it was, feeling more free with empty pockets than I ever felt with Ray Kingston's money lining my coat. There's a kind of peace in not knowing where you're sleeping tomorrow, long as you know exactly who's doing the sleeping. I thought about Big Sam's map, all them towns with unfamiliar names, and I understood finally why he never once tried to talk me out of leaving the kettle. Some men need a destination. I was starting to think I just needed the road itself, and enough truth in my hands to turn every mile of it into a song worth singing. With every passing day, met an old blind preacher playing hymns turned into blues. Met an old blind preacher playing hymns turned into blues. He said, son, the Lord and the devil both listen to the very same news. Just wanna know what's really going on within. I'm heading nowhere in particular, and Lord, it feels so right. I'm heading nowhere in particular, walking through the day and night. Got 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. Like trouble, son. A farmer gave me a ride to Greenwood, said you look like trouble, son. I laughed and told him trouble's just another name for someone on the run. I'm heading nowhere
said you look like trouble, son. I laughed and told him trouble's just another name for someone on the run. I'm headed nowhere in particular, just following the band. I'm headed nowhere in particular, no beginning and no end. Just me and 6 strings on the shoulder of a man who's starting again. A farmer gave me a ride to Greenwood, said you look like trouble, son. A farmer gave me a ride to Greenwood, said you look
It was deep into the autumn when Junie's pains began. It was deep into the autumn when Junie's pains began. I ran for the midwife barefoot, the guitar left behind, just a running man. Loretta came to sit with her, steady hands and steady voice. Loretta came to sit with her, steady hands and steady voice. Told me, men, wait outside for this one. Jesse ain't really got a choice. The night our boy was born, I paced that porch till dawn. The night our boy was born, every fear I'd ever known was drawn right up to the surface, waiting on the first cry to come along. Willie sat with me the whole night through, passing round a flask of rye. Willie sat with me the whole night through, passing round a flask of rye. Said, I remember pacing just like this, thought that I would die. The night our boy was born, I paced that porch till dawn. The night our boy was born, every fear I'd ever known was drawn right up to the surface, waiting on a first cry to come along. Hours passed like they were years, the house lit up with lamps. Hours passed like they were years, the house lit up with lamps. I prayed the way my mama taught me, prayed away every cramp. Then just before the sun came up, a sound cut through the air. Then just before the sun came up, a sound cut through the air. A crying, wailing, beautiful sound answered to my every prayer. Loretta came out smiling wide, said, come on in and see. Loretta came out smiling wide, said, come on in and see. I ran inside with shaking hands, heart pounding, fierce and free. The night our boy was born, I paced that porch till dawn. The night our boy was born, every fear I'd ever known was drawn right up to the surface, waiting on a first cry to come along. Junie lay there tired and glowing, holding something small and new. Junie lay there tired and glowing, holding something small and new. She looked up at me smiling, said, Jesse, come meet him, come on through. I sat down slow beside the bed, hands too rough for something so small. I sat down slow beside the bed, hands too rough for something so small. She placed him in my arms so gentle, and I forgot my fears, forgot them all. I held that boy in my arms, and I couldn't find a single word for a long, long while. I thought about my own daddy, about the guitar he left me, about every hard road that guitar carried me down before it ever led me here. I thought about Delilah's midnight train, about how far that heartbreak had pushed me before it finally turned into something worth finding. I looked down at my son, tiny fingers wrapped around my thumb,
And I made him the same kind of promise my daddy probably made to me. Without ever saying it out loud, I promised I'd teach him every honest thing. I learned the hard way, so maybe he wouldn't have to learn it quite so hard himself. Junie watched me with tears in her eyes and said, "What are we naming him, Jesse?" I didn't even have to think on it, Samuel. I said, "Samuel Cole!" After the man who taught his daddy what the blues was really for. Then Big Sam near about cried when we told him the name we chose. Big Sam near about cried when we told him the name we chose. Said, "Well, I reckon that's the finest thing that this old fiddler knows." Willie and Marcus came by that evening, passed the boy from arm to arm. Willie and Marcus came by that evening, passed the boy from arm to arm. Said, "Welcome to the world, little Sam. May you grow up free from harm." Watching him breathe soft and steady, singing low till near the break of dawn. Well, the night our boy was born changed me more than any stage. More than any stage. The night our boy was born turned a brand new honest page. A brand new page. Got 6 strings on the surface, waiting on a first cry to come along. Sat with me the whole night through, passing round a flask of rye. Well, sat with me the whole night through, passing round a flask of rye. Said, "Well, I reckon that's the finest thing that this old fiddler knows." Willie and Marcus came by that evening, passed the boy from arm to arm. Willie and Marcus came by that evening, passed the boy from arm to arm. Said, "Welcome to the world, little Sam. Grow up free from home." I sat that night beside the crib long after everyone had gone. I sat that night beside the crib long after everyone had gone. Watching him breathe soft and steady, singing low till near the break of dawn. The night our boy was born changed me more than any state. More than any. The night our boy.
We found a little house outside of Jackson, paint peeling on the door. We found a little house outside of Jackson, paint peeling on the door. Junie said, "It's perfect, Jesse," before I'd even seen the floor. I spend my days fixing shutters, spend my nights still playing shows. I spend my days fixing shutters, spend my nights still playing shows. Willie and Marcus helped me build a porch, the kind every good house grows. We got a house of our own now, small and honest, built by hand. We got a house of our own now, planting roots in Delta land. Ain't much, but it's the first place ever felt like it playing. Junie hung curtains that her mama sewed before she passed away. Junie hung curtains that her mama sewed before she passed away. Said every stitch is a piece of her, still watching over us today. We got a house of our own now, small and honest, built by hand. We got a house of our own now, planting roots in Delta land. Ain't much, but it's the first place ever felt like it was truly planned. I still play the circuit song, 3 nights out, 4 nights home. I still play the circuit song, 3 nights out, 4 nights home. Well, they understood the balance now, knew a man don't always gotta roam. Marcus started courting the girl himself, brought her around on a Sunday noon. Marcus started courting the girl himself, brought her around on a Sunday noon. We sat out on my new built porch, playing a lazy Delta tune. Junior started singing harmony whenever I rehearsed a song. Junior started singing harmony whenever I rehearsed a song. Her voice was soft but sure and steady, never once seemed out of place, never wrong. We got a house of our own now, small and honest, built by hand. We got a house of our own now, planting roots in Delta land. Ain't much, but it's the first place ever felt like it was truly planned. A letter came one morning from a promoter up in Chicago town. A letter came one morning from a promoter up in Chicago town. Said he'd heard the cold trio sound and wanted to bring it further round. Junior read it slow beside me, didn't flinch, just held my hand. Junior read it slow beside me, didn't flinch, just held my hand. Said you built this house, Jesse, but I never asked you to abandon your own plan. I sat with that letter a long while, looking out at the little garden. Junie had started planting along the fence line, tomatoes and greens. Coming up slow in the Delta heat, I thought about Chicago, about bigger stages, bigger crowds, maybe even bigger money. And for the first time since Memphis, the thought of a bigger stage didn't stir nothing much in me at all. I thought about Ray Kingston, about how chasing bigger nearly cost me everything that mattered. I looked over at Junie, humming soft while she worked in that garden. And I understood something Big Sam tried to teach me a long time ago. A man don't need the biggest stage in the world, he just needs the right one, with the right people standing beside him. I wrote back to that promoter and told him thank you, but I'd found exactly the size of life I was looking for. Chicago can wait its turn. Willie and Marcus agreed with me, said Chicago can wait its turn. We got a good thing going right here, Jesse, no need to make it burn. We kept playing the circuit steady, kept the house and garden growing too. We kept playing the circuit steady, kept the house and garden growing too. Junie's belly started rounding out that autumn, a secret we both knew. Sat that night out on the porch, getting my resting on my knee. I sat that night out on the porch, getting my resting on my
shoulder and a family growing at my door.
We played a rowdy joint downtown, tougher crowd than we'd ever seen. We played a rowdy joint downtown, tougher crowd than we'd ever seen. Two men started fighting near the stage over something mean. Willie stepped between them, trying to calm the whole thing down. Willie stepped between them, trying to calm the whole thing down. One of them swung wild and caught him, sent him spinning to the ground. Spent a night in the Jackson jail, cold bars and a concrete floor. Spent a night in the Jackson jail, cold bars and a concrete floor. Wasn't a crime I thought I'd answer for, but I'd do it all once more. I didn't think, just swung right back to defending my old friend. I didn't think, just swung right back to defending my old friend. The law showed up and grabbed us both before the night could end. Spent a night in the Jackson jail, cold bars and a concrete floor. Spent a night in the Jackson jail, cold bars and a concrete floor. Wasn't the crime I thought I'd answer for, but I'd do it all once more. Willie sat across the cell holding ice against his eye. Willie sat across the cell holding ice against his eye. Said, sorry Jesse, didn't mean to drag you into this here alibi. I told him, man, that's what a friend is for, don't you worry none. I told him, man, that's what a friend is for, don't you worry none. He laughed despite the bruise and said, well, this sure ain't how the night was supposed to run. An old drunk in the corner cell started singing something low. An old drunk in the corner cell started singing something low. I recognized the tune a moment, one my old daddy used to know. Spent a night in the Jackson jail, cold bars and a concrete floor. Spent a night in the Jackson jail, cold bars and a concrete floor. Wasn't the crime I thought I'd answer for, but I'd do it all once more. Marcus came by morning with the bell, shaking his head at us both. Marcus came by morning with the bell, shaking his head at us both. Y'all's lucky Junie ain't the one who came, she'd have skinned you, that's an oath. We walked out squinting in the sunlight, sore but laughing just the same. We walked out squinting in the sunlight, sore but laughing just the same. Some nights teach you more about a brother than any well-earned fame. Sitting in that cell overnight, I had plenty of time to think. Staring at them concrete walls, listening to that old drunk sing. Something close enough to one of my daddy's songs that I nearly cried right there. I thought about how different this felt from any trouble I'd known in Memphis. Ray's lawyers, Ray's fine print, Ray's version of consequences dressed up in expensive suits. This was simple, a friend got hit, I stood up for him and we both paid a night for it. Plain and honest as a debt ought to be. I realized something sitting on that cold floor. I'd rather spend 100 nights in a cell standing up for somebody who mattered than one more night. Free in some Memphis hotel room, standing up for nothing at all. Willie didn't need to thank me. The bruise on his own knuckles said plenty.
but I caught the corner of her smile before she let it set. Heroes, both of you, she said, shaking her head with a laugh. Heroes, both of you, she said, shaking her head with a laugh. I pulled her close and told her, well, somebody's gotta walk that path. We told the story that night at supper, Loretta shaking her head at us three. We told the story that night at supper, Loretta shaking her head at us three. But she still dished out extra plates, said, well, family's family. Spent a night in the Jackson jail, but I'd stand for Willie again, stand again. Spent a night in the Jackson jail and found out who's a real friend, a real friend. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and a brotherhood that won't bend. Sat right up front at the kettle underneath the dim red light. She said she liked the way I hit them strings so full of pain. She said she liked the way I hit them strings so full of pain. Said a voice like mine could make a grown man dance in the rain. Still ain't warm. She'd wait by the stage door every night I finished playing. She'd wait by the stage door every night I finished playing, whispering sweet words that had my better sense delaying. Oh, Rosalie, Rosalie, you got them green eyes like a storm. Oh, Rosalie, Rosalie, you got them green eyes like a storm. Big Sam warned me about your kind, but Lord, I still ain't warm. Big Sam pulled me aside one night, said, boy, I seen her before. Big Sam pulled me aside one night, said, boy, I seen her before. She run with a fella named Ray, comes round when the crowd is more. I told Big Sam I hear you, but my heart don't listen well. I told Big Sam I hear you, but my heart don't listen well. Been so long since somebody looked at me and broke that lonesome spell. Oh, Rosalie, Rosalie, you got them green eyes like a storm. Oh, Rosalie, Rosalie, you got them green eyes like a storm. Big Sam warned me about your kind, but Lord, I still ain't warm. That's when I met the man himself, come strutting through the door. That's when I met the man himself, come strutting through the door. Short suit, gold ring, a smile that seemed to promise so much more. Ray walked up to me easy, shook my hand like we were old friends. Heard you're the one lighting up the kettle these days, he said. Got an ear for talent, Jesse Cole, I know people, real people.
Promoters up in Memphis looking for a sound just like yours. Rosalie stood there smiling like she already knew the ending to this story. Big Sam just watched from the bar, didn't say a word. But I saw his jaw tighten up like he was biting back a warning. He already gave me once and knew I wasn't gonna hear again. I shook Ray's hand anyway, Lord help me, I shook his hand. Ray balled around for the whole room, said drinks are on me tonight. Ray balled around for the whole room, said drinks are on me tonight. Rosalie slid in close beside me, said don't he treat you right. I looked over at Big Sam, he just shook his head and sighed. I looked over at Big Sam, he just shook his head and sighed. I was too caught up in the shine to see what he was trying to hide. Watch out now. I'm walking into a brand new day. Smoke sits low like fog over a river bend. Bottles sweat on tables where the tired men lean. Jesse's fingers find the groove Big Sam taught him. 6 strings burning gold beneath the amber sheen. 2 years now since he left the Delta ground. Boots worn thin from walking every crooked mile. Whiskey glass still catches every light that's swinging, but he sips it slower now, almost like a smile. Big Sam calls the changes with a lifted brow. Jesse followed blind, he's learned to trust the sound. Somewhere out that window, a train is running midnight, cutting through the dark like it's plowing sacred ground. And the room don't know it yet, but something shifting in the air tonight. 6th string singing, midnight train, don't wait. Whiskey glass is empty, but I ain't drowning in it now. 6th string singing, I'm still walking through the gate that my daddy left wide open, and I'm learning how. There's a man in the back wearing a city suit, coat too clean for a room this rough and low. Watching Jesse's hands like he's counting money, writing something down he don't want the room to know. Song ends and the bar goes quiet for a beat. Big Sam nods to Jesse, says, boy, you've got the gift. Man in the suit stands up and starts walking closer. Jesse's stomach turns, he feels the whole night shift. The man said his name was Mr. Calloway out of Memphis City. Scouted talent for a label with real money behind it. Said, son, I've heard 100 guitar players come through towns like this, and most of them sound like they're copying somebody. You sound like you're telling the truth. He put a card on the table right next to the whiskey glass and said the midnight train up to Memphis leaves Thursday. Big Sam didn't say a word, he just looked at Jesse the way a man looks at a son who's about to leave the nest. Proud and a little bit afraid of what the world might do to him. Jesse picked up that card like it was made of glass, and for the first time since Delilah left, he didn't think about the past. He thought about tomorrow. Big Sam said the road already taught you plenty, but this next lesson, boy, I can't teach you it all. He handed Jesse an old harmonica, silver dented, said when it gets hard, remember why you play it all. Jesse's guitar answers high. I gotta find out, I gotta find out. Back and forth across the smoky room, two voices talking without a single word about doubt. Six strings singing, midnight train, don't wait. It's pulling out a station and my name is on the list. Whiskey glass is empty on a table, I'm leaving. Singing, this is a chance I can't resist. Big Sam's blessing riding in my pocket like a cone. Six string singing, I was born for a night like this. Rain still falling on that tin roof, soft and slow. Big Sam watching taillights fade into the dark. Card in Jesse's pocket, guitar strapped across his shoulder. Six strings and a whistle, the midnight train's his mark. Catches Jesse in the hallway, says he's new with Calloway's office, needs a moment of his time. Jesse's tired and half listening as she spreads some papers open, says the numbers on the tour don't add up, don't quite align. She points to figures, points to dates, points to a name repeated, raised initials on withdrawals, Jesse never signed his name. Jesse squints down at the paper like the letters might rearrange themselves, feels the coldness spreading slow like winter through a window pane. Maybe it's a mix-up, Jesse says, though his voice sounds thin and doubtful. Hattie shakes her head and says, I checked it 3 times through. Says it's near $10,000 moved to some account in Memphis. Says she thought that Mr. Cole deserved the chance to know the truth. Jesse thanks her, folds the paper, sits alone after she's leaving. Thinks of every handshake, every trust me brother Ray has said. Thinks of Clarksdale, thinks of cornbread, thinks of every debt repaid. Feels a decade of a friendship turning heavy as the dead. He doesn't call Ray right away, just sits there with the whiskey, pours it slow and watches how the amber catches light. Big Sam's warning echoes back from that Detroit phone call. Wolves that wear a face that looks like you, he was right. Jesse finds Ray in the
lobby, laughing loud with someone new. Ray sees his face and something flickers quicker across his eyes. Jesse holds the papers up but doesn't say a word at first. Just watches Ray's expression rearranging to surprise. And the lobby's gone to quiet, and the truth is sitting bare. And 10 years of a friendship hanging thin as Delta Air. 6 strings and a paper trail, midnight train derailing. Whiskey glass sits heavy in a hand that's shaking now. 6 strings and a paper trail, everything I'm failing to understand about a brother breaking every vow. Ray starts talking fast, says, Jesse, brother, let me explain it. Says it's just a loan, says he was gonna pay it back. Jesse's voice stays quiet, quieter than Ray's ever heard it. $10,000, Ray, that ain't a loan, that's just a theft, and that's a fact. Ray's face goes hard and cold, the smoothness dropping off him. Says you got so much, Jesse, more than you could ever spend. You forgot where you came from, forgot the ones who helped you get there. Jesse feels the words land like a fist he can't defend. For a long moment, neither one of them said anything. The lobby noise kept going around them, a bellhop with a cart, a woman laughing on a payphone, the everyday sounds of a world that had no idea 2 brothers were breaking apart right there on a red carpet under a chandelier. Jesse thought about Ray's mama, who used to feed them both. On the nights Jesse's own house had nothing on the stove. He thought about the miles they'd walked together as boys, barefoot down dirt roads with nothing but dreams and half a harmonica between them. He wanted to be angrier than he was. Mostly what he felt was tired the way a man feels when he realizes a story he'd been telling himself was never quite as true as he needed it to be. I trusted you, Jesse finally said, not loud, just true. Ray didn't have an answer for that, nobody ever does. Ray walks away before the whole thing turns into a scene. Says he'll have the money back before the week is through. Jesse stands alone beneath the chandelier's cold shining, wondering how many other lies he's letting slip on through. Silence and retangle beneath the chandelier. 2 sounds more than something Jesse held so dear. 6 strings and a paper trail, midnight train derailing. Whiskey glass sits heavy in a hand that's shaking now. 6 strings and a paper trail, everything I'm feeling. Big Sam warned me clearly, I just didn't know how. Dad's guitar is witness to a brother's broken vow. 6 strings and a paper trail, I can't stop it now. The chandelier keeps burning cold and bright above the lobby. Jesse walks up to his room, the papers folded in his hand. 6 strings waiting silent where it left him by the window, wondering how much more of this a tired heart can stand.
Saturday in June. The whole town gathered at the little church on a Saturday in June. Willie stood up as my best man, Marcus playing a wedding tune. Loretta cried before the service even had a chance to start. Loretta cried before the service even had a chance to start. Said Jesse Cole, I always knew you had a good and honest heart. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, ringing out across the town. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, and Lord, I can't stop smiling now. Every road that ever hurt me led me right here, led me down. Junie walked in on her daddy's arm, dressed simple, dressed in white. Junie walked in on her daddy's arm, dressed simple, dressed in white. I forgot every word I'd practiced, just stood there, struck by the sight. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, ringing out across the town. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, and Lord, I can't stop smiling now. Every road that ever hurt me led me right here, led me down. Her daddy spoke the words over us, voice steady, eyes gone soft. Her daddy spoke the words over us, voice steady, eyes gone soft. I thought about my own daddy, watching somewhere up aloft. I thought about the porch back home where this old guitar first learned my hand. I thought about the porch back home where this old guitar first learned my hand. Wished he could have seen this day, wished he could understand. But I carried him there with me in the 6 strings on my back. I carried him there with me in the 6 strings on my back. Every lesson that he taught me got me down this very track. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, ringing out across the town. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, and Lord, I can't stop smiling now. Every road that ever hurt me led me right here, led me down. Big Sam made the trip from Clarksville, fiddle tucked beneath his arm. Big Sam made the trip from Clarksville, fiddle tucked beneath his arm. Said wouldn't miss this for the world, boy, wouldn't miss seeing you find your calm. He played a song outside the church while folks threw rice up in the air. He played a song outside the church while folks threw rice up in the air. Old Otis in his blessing too said the kettle wished us well from there. Standing there with Junie's hand in mine, watching Big Sam's fiddle dance under the Mississippi sun, I thought about every mile that brought me to this exact moment. Delilah's empty house, the crossroads outside Clarksville, Ray Kingston's cold office, Rosalie's silence, the long walk back to a town I thought I'd lost forever. None of it felt like wasted time anymore. It felt like a road that had to bend through every one of them places to lead me here, to a church full of people who love me plain and honest, to a woman who never once needed me to be anybody but myself. Big Sam caught my eye across the churchyard and gave me a nod, the same nod he gave me the very first day he found me singing on the corner. I understood it now the way I couldn't back then. Some men build you up, some men just walk beside you till you find your own way up.
reception spilled out into Loretta's yard, tables full of food and song. The reception spilled out into Loretta's yard, tables full of food and song. Willie and Marcus led the band, playing loud and playing long. Junie's daddy danced with his daughter, tears he wouldn't quite explain. Junie's daddy danced with his daughter, tears he wouldn't quite explain. I danced with Loretta after, thanking her again and again. As the sun went down on Jackson, I pulled Junie close and swayed. As the sun went down on Jackson, I pulled Junie close and swayed. Told her every hard road brought me here, and I'm glad I never strayed. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, now she's carrying my name. Yeah, my wedding bells are ringing, they never felt so free ashamed. Free ashamed. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, they never felt so free ashamed. Free ashamed. Every road that ever hurt me led me right here, let me down. Woo! Hey! Whoa! Junie walked in on her daddy's arm, dressed simple, dressed in white. Junie walked in on her daddy's arm, dressed simple, dressed in white. Willie stood up as my best man, and Marcus playing, oh, the wedding tune. Loretta cried before the service even had a chance to start. Loretta cried before the service even had a chance to start. Said Jessica, I always knew you had a good and honest heart. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, ringing out across the town. Jackson wedding bells are ringing, Lord, I can't stop smiling now. Every road that ever hurt me led me right here, led me down. Oh, Junie walked in on her daddy's arm, dressed simple, dressed in white. Junie walked in on her daddy's arm, dressed simple, dressed in white. Willie stood up as my best man.
Six more weeks left on the tour, 6 more towns to play. 6 more weeks left on the tour, 6 more towns to play. I counted every one of them down like a debt I had to pay. Ray still smiled that easy smile whenever we cross paths. Ray still smiled that easy smile whenever we cross paths. Like nothing had been said that night, like there'd been no aftermath. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll wear his chain. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll carry his name. After tonight I'm walking free, whatever the cost, whatever the pain. Well, the crowd in Little Rock was bigger than I'd ever seen before. The crowd in Little Rock was bigger than I'd ever seen before. Thousands singing back my own words louder than a Delta storm. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll wear his chain. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll carry his name. After tonight I'm walking free, whatever the cost, whatever the pain. Before going on, guitar resting in my hand. Indian land. Thought about Delilah's empty house, a note upon the table. Thought about Delilah's empty house, a note upon the table. Thought about Big Sam's steady hands teaching me what I was able. Thought about Rosalie's green eyes and how they lied so well. Thought about Rosalie's green eyes and how they lied so well. Thought about Ray Kingston's gold rings and the story that they tell. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll wear his chain. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll carry his name. After tonight I'm walking free, whatever the cost, whatever the pain. Not the flashing of the light, not the fame, not the money, not the flashing of the light, just the honest feeling of a song sung true and right. I played every note like it was the only one I had left. I played every note like it was the only one I had left. Poured out every mile of heartbreak, every gift and every theft. Somewhere in the middle of that final set, I stopped playing Ray Kingston's song. I mean, the song still had his name stamped on the record label. But for the first time in over a year, I wasn't playing for the crowd. Wasn't playing for the money. Wasn't even playing to prove Ray wrong. I was playing for the boy who stood on an empty porch with his daddy's dusty guitar, promising himself a life bigger than the one waiting for him in them cotton fields. I looked out at all them faces, strangers everyone, and I understood something Big Sam tried to tell me a long time ago. The crowd don't own the music owns itself. Ray could own my name on a piece of paper, he could never own what came out when I closed my eyes and played. Torn asunder. I bowed once quiet and walked off before the lights went down. I bowed once quiet and walked off before the lights went down. Found Ray waiting in the wings with that same familiar frown. Best show of the tour, he said, reaching out to shake my hand. Best show of the tour, he said, reaching out to shake my hand. Shake, I told him calm and clear. That's the last hand of mine you'll shake. I told him calm and clear. Tour's over tonight, Ray, I'm done. I'm finally out of here. This was the last show for Kingston, and now his chain is broke. This was the last show for Kingston. I said the words I spoke. I stood there breathing hard, feeling like a man torn asunder. I bowed once quiet and walked off before the lights went down. I bowed once quiet and walked off before
like nothing had been said that night, like there'd been no aftermath. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll wear his chain. This is the last show for Kingston, the last time I'll carry his name. After tonight I'm walking free, whatever the cost, whatever the pain. The crowd in Little Rock was bigger than I'd ever seen.
The rains came hard that April, harder than we'd ever seen. The rains came hard that April, harder than we'd ever seen. The river started climbing past the banks, swallowing up the green. Well, it came banging on my door before the sun had fully rose. Well, it came banging on my door before the sun had fully rose. Said, Jesse, they're calling for sandbags, water's coming, Lord only knows. When the river rose in April, it didn't care whose house it took. When the river rose in April, every prayer, every look went up toward heaven, asking for the mercy of a closing book. I grabbed my boots and left my guitar resting safe upon the shelf. I grabbed my boots and left my guitar resting safe upon the shelf. For once there wasn't time for music, just saving something else. When the river rose in April, it didn't care whose house it took. When the river rose in April, every prayer, every look went up toward heaven, asking for the mercy of a closing book. Black and white side by side. The whole town turned out working, black and white side by side, stacking sandbags through the night against that rising tide. Junie stayed with the Sam up on higher ground, safe inside her daddy's church. Junie stayed with Sam up on higher ground, safe inside her daddy's church. I worked till my hands were bleeding, left me aching, left me hurt. Marcus lost his family's tool shed, watched it float on down the bend. Marcus lost his family's tool shed, watched it float on down the bend. But it kept on stacking sandbags, said can't stop now, gotta defend. When the river rose in April, it didn't care whose house it took. When the river rose in April, every prayer, every look went up toward heaven, asking for the mercy of a closing book. Big Sam drove down from Clarksville as soon as he heard the news. Big Sam drove down from Clarksville as soon as he heard the news. Stood beside me in the mud, said we're gonna beat this, we ain't gonna lose. 3 days and nights we fought that river, barely stopping to eat or sleep. 3 days and nights we fought that river, barely stopping to eat or sleep. Watched the water creep up to our door, watched how high it tried to creep. On the third night, standing waist deep in cold river water, passing sandbags down a line of exhausted, mud-covered strangers and friends alike. I thought about every kind of trouble I'd ever faced. Delilah leaving, Ray Kingston's fine print, Rosalie's lies. None of it prepared me for something as plain and honest as a river that didn't care about contracts or heartbreak, just kept rising regardless. The
Something about that plainness felt almost like a mercy. There wasn't nobody to be angry and no man to confront. Just neighbors, black and white, preacher and sinner, all of us in the same cold water, fighting for the same muddy ground. Big Sam passed me a sandbag and said, over the rain, this is the realest kind of blues there is, son. Not one man's heartbreak, but a whole town's carried together. I understood him completely. By the fourth morning, the rain finally broke, the river starting to recede. By the fourth morning, the rain finally broke, the river starting to recede. We stood there muddy, exhausted, but the town said, that's all we need. Some folks lost everything they had, homes washed clean away. Some folks lost everything they had, homes washed clean away. But not a single soul was lost, and that's the thing we pray. I walked home, so did Junie and Sam, mud caked up to my knees. I walked home slow to Junie and Sam, mud caked up to my knees. She ran out crying, held me tight, said, thank God, please. When the river rose at April, we stood as one and held the line. When the river rose at April, if this whole town proved so fine, got 6 strings on my shoulder, and neighbors I'll call mine.
My name is Jesse Cole, and this here's the night my whole life turned around. The night Delilah left. I came home from the cotton field, the sun was hanging low. I came home from the cotton field, sun was hanging low. Front door standing open, but there ain't nobody home. Her dress still on the hanger, but the shoes were gone. Her dress still on the hanger, but the shoes were gone. I called her name 3 times, but the house just hummed along. tracks like a ghost against the moon. Steam was rising off the tracks like a ghost against the moon. I stood there like a fool boy, singing the same old tune. Oh, Delilah, Delilah, where'd you run to now? Oh, Delilah, Delilah, where'd you run to now? The porch light's still on burning, but I don't know how. I stood on that platform till the last light of that train disappeared into the dark, and I thought about my daddy, who used to say, son, a man ain't nothing but the road he walks and the song he carries. I went home that night, reached under the bed, pulled out his old guitar. 6 strings, dust thick as a Delta summer. And I made myself a promise right there in that empty house. I wasn't gonna sit and rock waiting on a woman who already left. I was gonna follow that same track Delilah rode away on, not to find her, but to find whatever's waiting for me past the edge of this town. First day of my new course. Oh, now. Oh, now. He's gone. Oh, Delilah, Delilah, I'm following that train, following home. Oh, Delilah, Delilah, I ain't the same, never the same. 6 strings on my shoulder and the whole wide world of pain. 6 strings, 1 road. Oh, Delilah, this here's just the beginning, just the beginning of the blues. Stern as a Sunday sermon. Junior's daddy was a preacher man, stern as a Sunday sermon. Marcus warned me, watch yourself cold. He don't take kindly to no vermin. I put on my one good shirt, comb my hair the best I could. I put on my one good shirt, comb my hair the best I could. Walked up to his little house, feeling nervous as a green cut wood. I'm asking June, his father now, head in hand and heart laid bare. I'm asking June, his father now, praying that he'll hear my prayer. Every mile I walk to get here, wondering if I'm even welcome there. He set me down upon his porch, didn't offer me a seat too fast. He set me down upon his porch, didn't offer me a seat too fast. Studied me a long, long moment like he was reading through my past. I'm asking June, his father now, head in hand and heart laid bare. I'm asking June, his father now, praying that he'll hear my prayer. Every mile I
about the life he led. I heard about Memphis, he said slow. Heard about the life he led. Heard about women, heard about money. Heard the road that you were fed. I didn't try to hide a single piece. Told him every mile, every fall. I didn't try to hide a single piece. Told him every mile, every fall. Told him about Delilah, Rosalie, Ray Kingston. Told him truthfully, told him all. He listened close, didn't interrupt, just nodded slow and grim. He listened close, didn't interrupt, just nodded slow and grim. When I finished, he was quite a while before he looked at me again. I'm asking Julie's father now, head in hand and heart laid bare. I'm asking Julie's father now, praying that he'll hear my prayer. Every mile I walk to get here, wondering if I'm even welcome there. A man who tells the truth about his failings, he said, ain't the same as a man who hides. A man who tells the truth about his failings, he said, ain't the same as a man who hides. I marry fools who look much cleaner, standing pretty at my side. My daughter don't need clean, he said she needs a man who's finally found his ground. My daughter don't need clean, he said she needs a man who's finally found his ground. You sure you found it, son, or is this porch just one more town? I looked that old preacher dead in the eye, and for a moment I thought about every road I'd walked since Delilah left. The midnight train, the crossroads outside Clarksville, Memphis, Ray, Rosalie, the long walk back to the Copper Kettle, the juke joint circuit, Willie's kindness, and finally this very porch. And I told him the truest thing I knew. Sir, I've been lost enough times to know exactly what fine feels like now. I ain't perfect, and I ain't finished changing, but I know this. Every road I ever walked was leading me towards somebody who didn't need me to be nothing but honest. That's your daughter. I ain't asking to stop walking altogether. I'm asking if she'd walk it with me, and if you'd trust me enough to let her. He was quiet a long moment, then he stood up slow, held out his hand and said, well, that's the first honest thing a man said to me on this porch in a long while. Jesse Cole. He shook my hand firm and slow, said you got my blessing, son. He shook my hand firm and slow, said you got my blessing, son. But you break her heart the way that Memphis broke you. We'll have another run. I laughed relieved and thanked him proper, promised I'd hold true. I laughed relieved and thanked him proper, promised I'd hold true. He called Junie out onto the porch, said, girl, I believe he's fit for you. Junie ran out laughing, tears was reading through my past. I'm asking Junie's father now, hat in hand and heart laid bare. I'm asking Junie's father now, praying that he'll hear my prayer. Every mile I walk to get here, wondering if I'm even welcome there. He sat me down upon his porch, didn't offer me a seat too fast. He sat me down upon his porch, didn't offer me a seat too fast. Studied me a long, long moment, like he was reading through my past. I'm asking Julie's father now, hat in hand and heart laid bare. I'm asking Julie's father now, praying that he'll hear my prayer.
Well, his wife was named Loretta, cooked like nobody else I'd known. Well, his wife was named Loretta, cooked like nobody else I'd known. Had a house outside of Jackson that felt more like home than my own. Every time we rode back through, she'd have a plate set at the door. Every time we rode back through, she'd have a plate set at the door. Never asked for nothing back, just fed us till we couldn't eat no more. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen, simple as bread and grace. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen, simple as bread and grace. First real family table I sat at since I left my daddy's place. Their kids would climb up on my lap and ask about the road. Their kids would climb up on my lap and ask about the road. I'd tell them stories, some of them true, about every town I know. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen, simple as bread and grace. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen, simple as bread and grace. First real family table I sat at since I left my daddy's place. Loretta asked me one evening, stirring pots above the flame. Loretta asked me one evening, stirring pots above the flame, you ever think of settling, Jesse, finding a woman, finding your own name? I told her about Delilah, about Rosalie's green eyes and lies. I told her about Delilah, about Rosalie's green eyes and lies. She just shook her head and smiled, said, you ain't met the right one, that's no surprise. The right one don't need convincing, she said, and don't need chasing down. The right one don't need convincing, she said, and don't need chasing down. She'll just sit beside you quiet and somehow won't feel like a frown. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen, simple as bread and grace. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen, simple as bread and grace. First real family table I sat at since I left my daddy's place. I helped Willie fix the fence line on a Sunday we weren't playing. I helped Willie fix the fence line on a Sunday we weren't playing. Sweating simple labor, no crowd around us swaying. Marcus brought his little sister by name of Junie, quiet and kind. Marcus brought his little sister by name of Junie, quiet and kind. She didn't fall nor flatter none, just sat and hummed along, easy
noticed, Junie, the way you notice weather changing, slow and then all at once. She wasn't trying to catch my eye like Rosalie used to. Wasn't waiting on my next record or my next big show. She just sat on Willie's porch steps, humming along to whatever I played, sometimes correcting my chords with a laugh, saying, "That ain't how the old hymns go, Jesse." Loretta caught me watching her one evening and just smiled, that knowing smile. Didn't say a word, just went back to stirring her pot like she'd already seen. The whole story before it even started, I thought about Big Sam's advice, about the blues coming from truth, and I wondered if maybe truth could sound like something gentler than heartbreak for once, like a porch and a hymn sung slightly wrong, and a woman who didn't need a single thing from me except my honest company. Telling the band I needed rest. I stayed an extra week in Jackson, telling the band I needed rest. Willie just grinned and winked at Marcus, said, "Rest, sure, that's what he calls it, I guess." Julie taught me her family's hymns, old songs passed down through years. Julie taught me her family's hymns, old songs passed down through years. I taught her a little of the blues, for once there weren't no fears. Hey! Let it grow. Loretta packed us food for the road when it finally came time to leave. Loretta packed us food for the road when it finally came time to leave. Julie stood on the porch and waved, and something in my chest began to grieve. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen that I carry down every road. There's a kindness in Willie's wife's kitchen, lighter than any load. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and a feeling I ain't fully known. Oh.
Recall a meeting at his office, paper spread across the desk. Recall a meeting at his office, paper spread across the desk. Said, "All right, Jesse, let's talk numbers. Let's see what you think you're worth." I sat down slow, my lawyer friend beside me with his own set of notes. I sat down slow, my lawyer friend beside me with his own set of notes. Ray's smile was tight around the edges, like a man defending what he wrote. We're splitting the take now, dollar by dollar, line by line. We're splitting the take now, dollar by dollar, line by line. Every number that he gives me feels like he's granting me what's mine. He offered me a quarter of the record sales, said that's more than fair. He offered me a quarter of the record sale, said that's more than fair. I looked him dead in the eye and said, I built that sound, Ray, I was there. We're splitting the tape now, dollar by dollar, line by line. We're splitting the tape now, dollar by dollar, line by line. Every number that he gives me feels like he's granting me what's mine. My lawyer slid a counter off across the polished wooden desk. My lawyer slid a counter off across the polished wooden desk. Ray's face went red a moment, then he leaned back unimpressed. You think you're bigger than the label, bigger than the man who made you known? You think you're bigger than the label, bigger than the man who made you known? I said I made myself, Ray, I just let you make the phone. We're splitting the take now, dollar by dollar, line by line. We're splitting the take now, dollar by dollar, line by line. Every number that he gives me feels like he's granting me what's mine. Rosalie sat outside the office the whole time, wouldn't come inside. Rosalie sat outside the office the whole time, wouldn't come inside. When I stepped out after, her eyes looked like she'd already cried. I asked her what was wrong, she just shook her head and looked away. I asked her what was wrong, she just shook her head and looked away. Said, you're changing, Jesse, getting harder with every passing day. I told her maybe hard is what a man's gotta be in this town. I told her maybe hard is what a man's gotta be in this town. She just walked off toward the car without letting her guard down. 3 days of back and forth, Ray's lawyers arguing every clause. 3 days of back and forth, Ray's lawyers arguing every clause. I didn't back down once, held firm on every pause. Finally Ray threw up his hand, said, fine, Jesse, 40%, that's it. Finally Ray threw up his hand, said, fine, Jesse, 40%, that's it. But don't you forget who found you singing on that Clarksville strip. I shook Ray's hand that day, and for the first time in a long while, it didn't feel like signing away another piece of myself. It felt like taking one back small as it was 40%. Instead of a nickel, it felt like the first honest thing that had happened between us since Clarksville. But driving home that night, Rosalie quiet beside me, staring out the window like she was somewhere far from that car. I couldn't shake the feeling that winning this fight cost me something. I hadn't noticed leaving Big Sam used to say a man can win every battle and still lose the war if he ain't watching close. What kind of man he's becoming in the winning. I looked over at Rosalie, she didn't look back. I wondered, not for the first time, if she was still on my side at all, or if she'd been counting Ray's numbers right alongside him the whole time. That night I sat alone with my guitar, 40% heavier in my chest. That night I sat alone with my guitar, 40% heavier in my chest, wondering if a bigger cut or something broken still counts as something blessed. I thought a Big Sam's letter folded soft inside my coat. I thought a Big Sam's letter folded soft inside my coat. The blues don't come from applause, son, kept ringing like a distant note.
before I ever said it. We're splitting the take now, and I finally got a real share. A real share, real share. We're splitting the take now, but something still ain't square. Still ain't square. Got 6 strings on my shoulder. Feels like he's granting me what's mine. He offered me a quarter of the record sales, said that's more than fair. What wonder did in the eye, said I built that sound, Ray, I was there. We're splitting the take now, dollar by dollar, line by line. We're splitting the take now, dollar by dollar, line by line. Every number that he gives me feels like he's granting me what's mine. He offered me a quarter of the record sales, said that's more than fair. He offered me a quarter of the record sales, said that's more than fair. I looked him dead in the eye and said I built that sound, Ray, I was there. We're splitting the tape now, dollar by dollar, line by line. We're splitting the tape now.
Repossession men arrive at dawn outside the hotel entrance. Jesse watches from the window as they hook up to the car. The moon-colored Cadillac that once made him feel like a royalty rolls away behind the tow truck, disappearing near and far. Calloway's lawyers say the debts have finally called the numbers, say the label's cutting losses, say the contract's now in doubt. Jesse packs the things he still can call his own inside a suitcase. 6 strings and a photograph and not much else about. Frank, the driver, shakes his hand, says sorry, Mr. Cole. Says he's got another job now, driving for a different star. Jesse thanks him for the kindness, for the years of empty small talk. Watches one more piece of Nashville shrinking smaller, shrinking far. He checks out of the hotel with the manager, watching careful, counting every towel, every ashtray, every little thing. Jesse used to tip in 20s, used to laugh at all their fussing. Now he counts his own thin wallet like a man who's counting strings. Miss Hattie finds him in the lobby, quiet, sets an envelope. Says it's not much severance, but she wanted him to know that some folks still remember kindness underneath the ruin. Jesse thanks her, doesn't cry, though his eyes are close to those. He walks out to the station where he'd walked in years before. Different suitcase, different man, though the tracks remain the same. Buys a one-way ticket south this time instead of north to Fortune. Whispers to himself the sound of his own given name. And the station clock keeps ticking, same as ever, cold and slow. And the midnight train arriving is the only friend Jesse knows. 6 strings and a suitcase, midnight train is calling. Whiskey glass left broken in a hotel far behind. 6 strings and a suitcase, everything is falling, but something feels like honesty for the first time in my mind. An old man on the platform strikes up conversation easy. Says you look like someone I might have heard on the radio. Jesse almost laughs, says he used to be, don't know if I still am. The old man shrugs and says, well, son, seems like a hard road. The train pulls in with steam and steel the way it always has. Jesse climbs aboard with nothing but his suitcase and his name. No driver, no assistant, no Loretta and no Ray now. Just a rattling window seat in the Delta calling him again. Somewhere around the Kentucky line, Jesse pressed his head against the glass.
the same way he had 3 years before, riding the opposite direction. Full of hope and a business card and a future he thought he understood. Now the future was behind him, or maybe it never existed. The way he pictured it, maybe the whole shining Nashville dream had just been a longer, prettier version of a whiskey glass. Something a man drinks to feel bigger than he is, until one morning he wakes up and the bottle's empty, and so is he. Jesse thought about his daddy again, the way he always did, when the world got too loud to think straight in. His daddy had never owned a Cadillac, never owned a diamond ring, never signed a contract he didn't read 3 times over first. And yet somehow, on that porch in Clarksdale, that man had seemed richer than anybody Jesse met in Nashville. Jesse didn't know yet if he could get back to that kind of rich. Before the first time in a long while, riding that rattling train through the dark, he wanted to try. The conductor calls the station, same as any other evening. Jesse watches farmland roll by, darker than before. He thinks of Big Sam's juke joint, thinks of Clarksdale's dusty roads, thinks that maybe going backward is the only way to move forward anymore. Delilah's just a sign. Daddy's guitar is all I kept from everything I chased. 6 strings and a suitcase, I'm going back to face it. Dawn breaks slow across the fields as Mississippi nears, just as I stay open watching red clay come in view. 6 strings resting on his lap, suitcase by his boots, riding on to Clarksdale, to the only truth he knew. We're positioning right at dawn outside the hotel entrance. Repositioning 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 right at dawn outside the hotel entrance.
I sat down with a lawyer friend of a friend one rainy afternoon. I sat down with a lawyer friend of a friend one rainy afternoon. And handed him that contract I'd been carrying like a tune. He read it slow, adjusted his glasses, didn't say a word for a while. He read it slow, adjusted his glasses, didn't say a word for a while. Then looked at me and said, son, I gotta ask you something, with a troubled kind of smile. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, small enough to miss. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, small enough to miss. Says my name's the only thing that's mine in all of this. He said Ray Kingston owns the masters, owns the name you sing under two. He said Ray Kingston owns the masters, owns the name you sing under two. Every dollar that record's making, only a nickel's coming back to you. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, small enough to miss. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, small enough to miss. Says my name's the only thing that's mine in all of this. I sat there staring at that paper like it was a stranger's face. I sat there staring at that paper like it was a stranger's face. Thought about the nights I trusted him, every handshake, every embrace. I thought about the day he found me, coffee steaming in his hand. I thought about the day he found me, coffee steaming in his hand. Called himself the man who'd help me, never said he'd own the land. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, small enough to miss. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, small enough to miss. Says my name's the only thing that's mine in all of this. I went and found Rosalie, told her everything I'd learned. I went and found Rosalie, told her everything I'd learned. She just shrugged and said, that's business, Jesse, that's just how it's earned. Something in her voice that evening sounded rehearsed and cold. Something in her voice that evening sounded rehearsed and cold, like she'd known the truth all along and never once had told. I stood outside that lawyer's office a long while, rain coming down soft. And I thought about Big Sam's letter, about the warning he gave me. That night before I signed, read every line, trust the music, not the man. I hadn't listened, I was too busy chasing lights and applause to notice the hand reaching into my pocket while it shook mine. I thought about going back to Ray, demanding answers, tearing up that paper. But something colder settled in me instead, a kind of quiet. I realized I didn't know who I was without the crowd anymore. And Ray knew that better than I did. That's the real fine print, I reckon. The part of a man he sells before he ever touches the contract. I confronted Ray that evening, the paper crumpled in my fist. I confronted Ray that evening, the paper crumpled in my fist. He just smiled that easy smile, said, kid, you signed it, it exists. You want out, you're free to leave, he said, but you'll leave with empty hands. He said the name Jesse Cole, the songs you wrote, they're mine, understand. I stood there shaking, fist clenched tight, but the room had gone so still. He built a cage around my voice and dressed it up in gold until couldn't pay. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, and now I finally see. There's a fine print hiding in the paper, saying I ain't free. Got 6 strings on my shoulder, but Ray Kingston owns the rest of me. My name is Jesse Cole, and this here's the night my whole life turned around. The night Delilah left. I came home from the cotton field. Sun was hanging low. I came home from the cotton field. Sun was hanging low. Front door standing open, but there ain't nobody home. Her dress still on the hanger, but her shoes were gone. Her dress still on the hanger, but her shoes were gone. I called her name 3 times, but the house just hummed along. I don't know how. I found a note upon the table, corner torn and stained. I found a note upon the table, corner torn and stained. Said, Jesse, I can't live here watching you stay the same. Oh, Delilah, Delilah, where'd you run to now? Oh, Delilah, Delilah, where'd you run to now? The porch light still on burning, but I don't know how. I ran down to the station, heart pounding in my chest. I ran down to the station, heart pounding in my chest. Watched the midnight train pull out, heading for the west. Steam was rising off the tracks like a ghost against the moon. Steam was rising off the tracks like a ghost against the moon. I stood there like a fool boy singing the same old tune. Oh, Delilah, Delilah, where'd you run to now? Oh, Delilah, Delilah, where'd you run to now? The porch light's still on burning, but I don't know how. I stood on that platform till the last light of that train disappeared into the dark, and I thought about my daddy, who used to say, son, a man ain't nothing but the road he walks and the song he carries. I went home that night, reached under the bed, pulled out his old guitar. 6 strings, dust thick as a Delta summer. And I made myself a promise right there in that empty house. I wasn't gonna sit and rot waiting on a woman who already left. I was gonna follow that same track Delilah rode away on, not to find her, but to find whatever's waiting for me past the edge of this town. Lock the door behind me, ain't looking back no more. Poured myself a whiskey, drank it standing on the porch. Poured myself a whiskey, drank it standing on the porch. Watched the sun come up on the first day of my new course. Oh! Gone now. He's gone. Oh, Delilah, Delilah, I'm following that train. Falling on. Oh, Delilah, Delilah, I ain't the same. Never the same. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and the whole wide world of pain. 6 strings, 1 road. Oh, Delilah, this here's just the beginning. Just the beginning of the blues. Now since Ray started working on the tour, carrying cases, counting money, handling every deal. Jesse trusts him like a brother, like the old days back in Clarksdale. Never thinks to question how good things start to feel. Ray's got a way of talking smooth to men in fancy offices. Says he's looking out for Jesse like a brother ought to do. Jesse signs whatever papers Ray sets down before him. Never reads the fine print like his daddy taught him to. The shows keep getting bigger, Chicago now, then Detroit. Jesse's name in lights above the marquee getting tall. Just play your guitar, brother, and let me handle it all. Loretta starts to notice something changing in the numbers. Asks Jesse quiet questions when they're lying in the dark. Jesse waves it off and says that Ray's been like a brother. Loretta's face goes worried, but she just holds back and marks. Catches Ray on the telephone, talking low and quick to someone Jesse's never met. Ray hangs up quick and smiles and says it's nothing, just business. Jesse nods and lets it go, though something feels like death. The whiskey glasses multiply with every passing city. Jesse drinks to celebrate and drinks to ease the pace. Loretta watches from the wings with worry in her shoulders, watching Jesse's smile grow thinner underneath his face. And the money keeps on flowing, and Ray keeps counting fast. And somewhere in the shadows, something ain't gonna last. Sixth string still ringing, midnight train still running, whiskey glass keeps filling while my brother counts the tape. Sixth string still ringing, but something's coming undone. I trust the hand that's helping, don't know it's gonna break. Big Sam calls collect one night while Jesse's in Detroit. Says, boy, I heard some rumors about the man who's handling you. Jesse laughs it off, says, Sam, you're worrying for nothing. Ray's been with me since the start, he's always seen me through. Big Sam's voice goes quiet then, he says it slow and careful. Son, a man that counts your money ought to let you count it too. Ain't saying nothing's wrong, just saying watch a little closer. The road's got plenty wolves that wear a face that looks like you. Jesse hung up the phone that night and sat there for a long while, looking at the hotel wall like it might have answers written on it. He thought about Ray back in Clarksdale, sharing cornbread on a porch step when they were both just skinny boys, with nothing but a guitar and a dream between them. He thought about all the years since then, all the small favors, all the trust built up, one handshake at a time. Surely a man didn't change that much. Surely the boy who once gave Jesse half his sandwich when Jesse's own family had nothing to give, surely that boy wouldn't turn into somebody else just because there was money in the room now. Jesse told himself that he told himself that hard, but somewhere underneath the telling, a small cold feeling settled in his chest and didn't leave, not even after he fell asleep. Morning comes and Ray's already up and dressed.
touches him a little closer than he did the day before. Ray don't seem to notice or pretends he doesn't know. Smooth the man in fancy offices says he's looking out for Jesse like a brother ought to do. Jesse signs whatever papers Ray sets down before him, never reads the fine print like his daddy taught him to. The shows keep getting bigger, Chicago now then Detroit. Jesse's name in the lights above the marquee getting tall. Ray handles all the money now, says don't you worry Jesse, just play your guitar brother and let me handle it all. 3 months now since Ray started working on the tour, carrying cases, counting money, handling every deal. Jesse trusts him like a brother, like the old days back in Clarksdale. Never thinks to question how good things start to feel. Ray's got a way of talking smooth to men in fancy offices. Says he's looking out for Jesse like a brother ought to do. Jesse signs whatever papers Ray sets down before him, never reads the fine print like his daddy taught him to. The shows keep getting bigger, Chicago now then Detroit. Jesse's name in lights above the marquee getting tall. Ray handles all the money now, says don't you worry Jesse, just play your guitar brother and let me handle it all. Loretta starts to notice something.
Little Sam grew fast at a winner. First smile, first tooth, first word. Little Sam grew fast at a winner. First smile, first tooth, first word. I hated leaving for the circuit, hated every mile I heard. Junet'd stand out on the porch with Sam propped up on her hip. Junet'd stand out on the porch with Sam propped up on her hip. Wave until the truck was gone, a brave smile on her lip. There's lullabies and long roads now, pulling at me two ways. There's lullabies and long roads now, trying to balance out my days. I started writing Sam a lullaby, something soft to hum him down. I started writing Sam a lullaby, something soft to hum him down. First tender song I'd made in years that wasn't shaped by pain or frown. I'd sing it to him every night I was home before the lamp went dim. I'd sing it to him every night I was home before the lamp went dim. Junie said the nights I traveled she'd hum it too, just for him. The band started cutting down our shows 3 times instead of 6. The band started cutting down our shows 3 times instead of 6. Willie said family first now, Cole, that's the only real fix. There's a lullabies and long roads now, pulling at me 2 ways. There's a lullabies and long roads now, telling me to stay, telling me to raise a family and a livelihood, trying to balance out my days. I missed his first steps on a Tuesday out playing in Meridian Town. I missed his first steps on a Tuesday out playing in Meridian Town. Junie wrote to tell me General tried her best to soften down. I sat in that hotel room and cried first tears in a long, long time. I first sat in that hotel room and cried first tears in a long, long time. I realized no amount of music was worth missing pieces of a life so fine. I sat with that letter in my hands a long while that night in Meridian, thinking about my own daddy, about how much of my growing up he'd miss working them cotton fields just to keep us fed. I never once blamed him for it, but I remembered wishing, quiet as a boy could wish, that he'd been there more, just to see the ordinary things. Not just the church recitals or the big days, but the small ones. The first steps, the first words, the nights before sleep. I thought about the road, about how much of my life had been running towards something or away from something else. I decided right there I wasn't gonna let my boy grow up, wondering where his daddy was during all the small important moments. The music would still be there. Sam's first steps only happened once. Down more. I talked to Willie and Marcus, told them I needed to slow it down more. They understood completely, said we'll hold the fort, that's what friends are for. We cut our touring down, the weekends kept close enough to get back quick. We cut our touring down, the weekends kept close enough to get back quick. I started teaching Sam his letters instead of chords, patient, slow and thick. I didn't miss another first after that, made sure of everyone. I didn't miss another first after that, made sure of everyone. First laugh, a first run, a first fishing trip out under the setting sun. There's lullabies and long roads still, but now I know which one comes first. Which comes first? There's lullabies and long roads still, and I finally quenched that old time thirst. That old thirst. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and some who never know the worst. dressing room with bows around the mirror's edge. Jesse sits alone before a show, straightening in his tie. Stares into his own reflection like it's someone else's face. Wonders when exactly that transformation passed him by. The suit's $100, silk against his collarbone. His hair is slicked and shining underneath the dressing lights. Jesse used to see his daddy's jawline in the mirror. Now he sees a stranger dressed for one more Nashville night. Someone knocks and hands him whiskey like a morning coffee. Says you got 20 minutes, Mr. Cole, before the show. Jesse drinks it slow and thinks about the Clarksdale mornings, when his only mirror was the river's steady flow. Loretta finds him staring, wraps her arms around his shoulders. Says, where'd you go just now? You looked a million miles away. Jesse tells her nothing, just a little tired, that's all. But Loretta's learned to see the things he doesn't say. The crowd tonight's the biggest one that Jesse's ever faced. 10,000 seats all filled with faces he don't know. Ray comes in to say the numbers, says they're breaking records. Jesse nods along, but something in him moves too slow. He picks his daddy's guitar up from its velvet case, runs his thumb along the wood worn smooth from years of hands. 6 strings, still the only thing that stayed the same since Clarksdale. The only piece of him still standing where it stands. And the crowd is already roaring, and the lights are already bright. Somewhere in the mirror, Jesse's looking for the light. 6 strings in the mirror, midnight train still calling, whiskey glass reflecting back a face I hardly know. 6 strings in the mirror, further from my falling. I'm chasing what I chase for, but I'm losing where to go. He walks the hallway to the stage where roadies rush around him. Ray's shouting orders like he owns the whole parade. Jesse pauses at the curtain, listens to the crowd's low thunder, remembers juke joints where the only crowd was Big Sam's trade. The lights come up and Jesse steps into the roaring shine. 10,000 voices calling out the only name he's got. Jesse smiles the practice smile and lifts his daddy's guitar, plays the opening chord and feels a small familiar spot. For 3 minutes, right there under those hot stage lights, something honest broke through all the diamonds and the whiskey. Jesse closed his eyes, and for just that one song, he wasn't the Prince of Beale Street, he wasn't a headline, he wasn't a man signing papers he never read. He was just a boy on a porch in Clarksdale, learning his daddy's chords by lamplight, playing for nobody but the crickets in the dark. The crowd roared like a flood when the song ended, and Jesse opened his eyes to 10,000 strangers, clapping for a moment of truth they probably didn't even know they'd witnessed. He thought, maybe that's still in there somewhere. Maybe the Delta boy ain't gone completely. Maybe he's just buried under all this shine, waiting on somebody to dig him back out. After the show, the dressing room fills up with familiar faces. Calloway, Loretta, Ray, all talking numbers, talking fame. Jesse sits quiet in the corner with his daddy's guitar, thinking that tonight for one song he remembered his own name.
remembering the truth beneath it all. 6 strings in the mirror, midnight train still calling, whiskey glass reflecting back a face I used to know. 6 strings in the mirror, further from my falling, Big Sam's voice still with me, Delilah's undertow. Daddy's guitar, remember who I really am tonight. 6 strings in the mirror, searching for the lights. Chicago sleeps in neon, the arena finally still. Jesse sits alone before the mirror one more time. Chicago sleeps in neon, the arena finally still. Jesse sits alone before the mirror one more time. Chicago dressing room with bulbs around the mirror's edge. Jesse sits alone before a show, straightening his tie. Stares into his own reflection like it's someone else's face. Wonders when exactly that transformation passed him by. The suit's $100, silk against his collarbone. His hair is slicked and shining underneath the dressing lights. Jesse used to see his daddy's jawline in the mirror. Now he sees a stranger dressed for one more Nashville lit. Some knock some hands in whiskey, knock 'em on in coffee. Says you got 20 minutes, Mr. Cole, before the show. Jesse drinks it slow and thinks about the Clarksdale mornings, when his only mirror was the river's steady flow. Loretta finds him staring, wraps her arms around his shoulders.
Yeah, 3 weeks now I'm sleeping in the room above the bar. 3 weeks now I'm sleeping in the room above the bar. Big Sam's teaching me the tricks that made him who we are. He showed me how to bend a note till it near about cries. He showed me how to bend a note till it near about cries. That's the sound of a woman leaving, Big Sam testified. Down at the copper kettle, where the whiskey's cheap and warm. Down at the copper kettle, where the eye of someone's storm. Every broken heart in Clarksville comes to hear us play till dawn. The crowd got bigger every Friday, word got round the town. The crowd got bigger every Friday, word got round the town. That cold boy's got a fire is what I heard get passed around. Down at the copper kettle, where the whiskey's cheap and warm. Down at the copper kettle, where the eye of someone's storm. Every broken heart in Clarksville comes to hear us play till dawn. Dress caught my stare one night. A woman with green eyes and a red dress caught my stare one night. Big Sam elbowed me and laughed, said, "Boy, you ain't near all right." I looked away and hit the strings, tried to keep my mind in line. I looked away and hit the strings, tried to keep my mind in line. But that whiskey glass in front of me kept calling out one more time. Down at the copper kettle, where the whiskey's cheap and warm. Down at the copper kettle, where the eye of someone's storm. Every broken heart in Clarksville comes to hear us play till dawn. The owner man named Otis pulled me over after last call. The owner man named Otis pulled me over after last call. Said, "Cole, I'll pay you regular if you play here through the fall. Big Sam found me out back counting my first real payday. More money than I made picking cotton in a month. He didn't say congratulations, he just looked at me hard and said, "Careful now, Jesse, this town's sweet on you tonight." But sweetness turns quick when the crowd wants more than you got to give. I seen good men chase that applause till they forgot why they picked up the guitar in the first place. I laughed it off, then told him I could handle a little shine. Lord, I wish I'd listened closer to that old man that night. Big Sam kept teaching, kept me humble, kept me honest to the bone. Big Sam kept teaching, kept me humble, kept me honest to the bone. But that green-eyed woman kept on smiling from her corner all alone. Down at the Copper Kettle, I ain't just passing through no more. Down at the Copper Kettle, they're calling out for an encore. Got 6 strings and a steady wage and a green-eyed girl I can't ignore.
The bus rolled slow through towns I used to pass and race fine cars. The bus rolled slow through towns I used to pass and race fine cars. Everything looked smaller now, though I hadn't traveled far. I watched the cotton fields go by, white as clouds against the ground. I watched the cotton fields go by, white as clouds against the ground. Felt something loosen in my chest, a weight I'd carried coming unwound. I'm going back to the kettle now, back to where the story been. I'm going back to the kettle now, back to find out what I meant. Before the light, before the money, before the year I nearly spent. An old man sat beside me, asked if I was headed home. An old man sat beside me, asked if I was headed home. I told him I wasn't rightly sure, just knew I couldn't keep on this way, couldn't roam. I'm going back to the kettle now, back to where the story been. I'm going back to the kettle now, back to find out what I meant. Before the lights, before the money, before the year I nearly spent. The bus pulled into Clarksville just as evening colors bled. The bus pulled into Clarksville just as evening colors bled. Same dusty streets, same weathered signs, same feeling I once fled. I walked the last few blocks on foot, guitar heavy on my back. I walked the last few blocks on foot, guitar heavy on my back. Every step felt like unwinding time along a well-worn track. I saw the copper kettle sign still hanging crooked as before. I saw the copper kettle sign still hanging crooked as before. My hand was shaking just a little as I reached out for that door. I'm going back to the kettle now, back to where the store had been. I'm going back to the kettle now, back to find out what I meant. Before the lights, before the money, before the year I nearly spent. Smelled just the same, whiskey, sawdust, and cigar. The room smelled just the same, whiskey, sawdust, and cigar. And there behind the bar stood Otis, same as always, same as far. Otis looked up slow, did a double take, and near about dropped the glass. Otis looked up slow, did a double take, and near about dropped the glass. Jesse Cole, he said, half laughing, didn't think I'd see that face. Otis told me Big Sam still played most Fridays, still had that same corner table, still ordered the same drink he never finished. Said he'd ask about me sometimes, wondering out loud if the Memphis lights had swallowed me whole. I asked if he was around tonight. Otis just smiled and nodded toward the back room, where I could hear a fiddle warming up, slow and familiar, like a voice I hadn't realized how much I'd missed till I heard it again. I stood in that doorway a long moment, guitar case heavy in my hand, heart pounding harder than it ever did, walking on the inner stage in Memphis. I thought about everything that happened since I last stood in that same spot. Delilah's midnight train, Rosalie's green eyes, Ray's fine print, the whole gilded cage of it. And here I was again, back at the start, except I wasn't the same boy who walked in the first time. Slow, and there sat Big Sam, fiddle in his hand. I pushed the door open slow, and there sat Big Sam, fiddle in his hand. He looked up at me over his glasses, didn't seem the least bit grand. Just said, well, look what the midnight train done, drug back in tonight. Just said, well, look what the midnight train done, drug back in tonight. I laughed first real laugh in months, and it felt exactly right. He waved me over to the table, said, sit down, tell me where you've been. He waved me over to the table, said, sit down, tell me where you've been. I set my guitar down easy and finally let the whole truth in. Wow! I'm going back to the kettle now, back to where the story been. I'm going back to the kettle now, back to find out what I meant. Before the lights, before the money, before the year I nearly spent. I told him about Rosalie, about Ray, about every mile of shine. I told him about Rosalie, about Ray, about every mile of shine. He just listened quiet, nodded slow, and poured me out some wine. I made it back to the kettle now, and Big Sam's still right here, still right here. I made it back to the kettle now, beside me asked if I was headed home. The bus rolled slow through towns I used to pass and race fine cars. Everything looked smaller now, though I hadn't traveled far. I watched the cotton fields go by, white as clouds against the ground. I watched the cotton fields go by, white as clouds against the ground. Felt something loosening in my chest, a weight I carried, cotton unwound. I'm going back to the kettle now.
Past the river and the bend, juke joint owners started calling out, wanting me to come and lend my voice and six string to their weekends, fill their rooms up wall to wall. My voice and six string to their weekends, fill their rooms up wall to wall. I started traveling circuit style, a different stage every single hall. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, town to town on my own 2 feet. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, playing every bar room and side street, building up a name for myself that don't come with no deceit. Natchez, Jackson, then on to Hattiesburg, every room a different face. Natchez, Jackson, then on to Hattiesburg, every room a different face. But the same kind of hunger in their eyes, the same kind of empty space. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, town to town on my own 2 feet. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, playing every bar room and side street, building up a name for myself that don't come with no deceit. Hey! I started making real money now, but different than before. I started making real money now, but different than before. Every dollar had my own hands on it, wasn't skimmed off at raised back door. I bought myself a second guitar, a beat-up amp, a sturdy case. I bought myself a second guitar, a beat-up amp, a sturdy case. Started thinking about putting a band together, filling up the empty space. Found a drummer in Jackson named Willie, steady hands and a steadier heart. Found a drummer in Jackson named Willie, steady hands and a steadier heart. Found a bass man outside Hattiesburg who could hold a groove from the very start. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, town to town on my own 2 feet. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, playing every bar room and side street, building up a name for myself that don't come with no deceit. By the time we hit Laurel, we were a real band, tied and true. By the time we hit Laurel, we were a real band, tied and true. Willie's drums and Marcus on the bass, holding down the groove. Crowds got bigger every week, but this time it felt different, felt right. Crowds got bigger every week, but this time it felt different, felt right. Wasn't Ray's machine behind it, just 3 men and an honest night. There's a difference I was learning between being built up by somebody else's hands and building something up yourself, brick by brick, town by town. Willie and Marcus didn't answer to no contract, they answered to the music. Same as me, we split every dollar even, 3 ways, no fine print. No green-eyed woman keeping tabs on my mood for somebody else's benefit. I thought about Ray Kingston sometimes, wondered if he'd heard about The juke joint circuit buzzing with my name on it. Wondered if it burned him. Knowing he didn't own a single note of what we were building. I hoped it did, but mostly I was just grateful. Sitting in the back of Willie's old truck between towns, watching the Mississippi countryside roll by. For the first time finding out what it felt like to build something true. With my own two hands alongside men who wanted nothing from me but the music itself. We played 6 nights a week, some months, barely stopping to catch our breath. We played 6 nights a week, some months, barely stopping to catch our breath. But every juke joint felt like family, not a single one felt like a test. Willie's wife would cook us supper whenever we rode back through town. Willie's wife would cook us supper whenever we rode back through town. Marcus taught me how to laugh again, taught me how to settle down. We started calling ourselves a cold trio, simple as that, plain and true. We started calling ourselves a cold trio, simple as that, plain and true. Word kept spreading down every road, further than we ever knew. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, and I finally got a real crew. I'm riding the juke joint circuit now, building something honest and true. Honest and true. Got 6 strings on my shoulder and 2 good men who see me through.
The station in Clarksdale looks smaller than a picture. Same peeling paint, same bent, same rusted overhang above. Jesse steps down slow with his suitcase and his 6 strings. Feels the delta heat wrap around him like a memory of love. Nobody's waiting on the platform, no reporters, no fanfare. Just a dog asleep in shade and a farmer loading grain. Jesse almost laughs out loud at how the silence greets him. After years of screaming crowds, this quiet feels like rain. He walks the road toward Big Sam's, past the fields he used to walk through. Cotton bolls still white against the red clay in the sky. Every fence post, every ditch, a marker of a life before. The Cadillac and diamonds and the reasons he don't know why. Big Sam's juke joint looks the same, a little older, roof still leaning. Jesse stands outside a moment, hand upon the splintered door. Hears the sound of someone practicing a blues progression slowly. Steps inside to find Big Sam right where he'd been years before. Big Sam looks up slow, don't jump, don't shout, don't make a fuss of it. Just says, took you long enough, and nods toward an empty chair. Jesse sits down heavy with the weight of every mile behind him. Big Sam pours 2 glasses, sets one down and lets it just sit there. I ain't drinking that today, Jesse says, surprising even himself.
Big Sam raises up an eyebrow, doesn't push it, doesn't pry. Just says, all right then, boy, and pours the extra back to bottle. Something in that quiet gesture nearly brings a grown man to cry. And the dust motes hanging, sunlight coming through the same old door, and the room still holds a silence Jesse thought he lost before. Six strings coming home now, midnight train delivered, whiskey glass untouched today, first and far too long. Six strings coming home now, everything I've weathered led me back to where I started, back to where I still belong. Big Sam asks him careful, so what happened up in Nashville? Jesse tells him everything, the diamonds and the fall, the contracts and Loretta, and the way Ray broke the friendship. Big Sam listens quiet, doesn't interrupt at all. When Jesse's finished talking, Big Sam leans back in his chair, says, sounds like Nashville taught you everything except the truth, that a man's worth ain't in diamonds, ain't in crowds or magazine covers. It's in the sound that's honest, same as when you were a youth. Big Sam got up slow, joints popping the way old joints do, and walked over to a shelf behind the bar, where he kept a few things nobody was allowed to touch. He pulled down an old photograph curled at the edges of a young man with a guitar standing on this very floor, years and years before Jesse was even born. That's me, Big Sam said, back when I thought the whole world owed me something for how good I could play. Took me near 20 years and a lot of empty rooms to figure out the world don't owe a man nothing. The music's the gift, everything else, the money, the fame, the folks who smile at you 'cause of what you can do for them. That's just weather, boy, it comes, it goes. But the music, if you treat it right, that's the one thing that stays. He set the photograph down on the bar in front of Jesse. You still got your daddy's guitar, that's more than most men ever get to keep. Don't you go losing that too. Jesse holds his daddy's guitar a little tighter after hearing, runs his fingers slow along the six strings, worn but true. Says, I don't know if I can build back what I had before. Big Sam smiles and says, you don't rebuild it, boy, you build it new. You build it new. Slow, dust and retangled in the afternoon light. Two sounds remembering what it means to feel right. Six strings coming home now, midnight train delivered, whiskey glass untouched today, first and far too long. Six strings coming home now, everything I've weathered. Big Sam's here beside me, this is where I still belong. Daddy's guitar is singing like it never left this floor. Six strings coming home now, I'm not running anymore. Evening settles soft on Clarksdale, crickets starting up their song. Jesse sits out on the porch step where his story first began. Six strings resting quiet in his lap beneath the Delta star, wondering if a broken man can learn to build again.
Everybody's waiting on the platform. No reporters, no fanfare. Just a dog asleep in the shade and a farmer loading grain. Jesse almost laughs out loud at how the silence greets him. After years of screaming crowds, this quiet feels like rain. He walks the road toward Big Sam's, past the fields he used to walk through. Cotton balls still wag against the red clay.
Get on in, we're already on the clock. Inside the room is small with wires taped along the floor. A microphone hangs down like a silver preacher's mouth. Jesse sets his amp up, shaking just a little, thinking of his daddy's hands that built this sound down south. Calloway's behind the glass with headphones on his ears. Says, give me something real, boy, don't you play me safe. Jesse tunes a 6-string slow, remembering the Delta, remembering the Porsche where his daddy learned to play. The engineer counts down with fingers in the air. 3, then 2, then 1, then silence holds the room. Jesse closes both his eyes and sees the midnight train again. Sees Delilah's face still hanging like a fading moon. First take comes out shaky. Calloway shakes his head, says you're playing like you're scared, boy, play it like you're free. Jesse thinks of every juke joint, every jail cell floor he slept on. Thinks of Big Sam's voice saying, play it just for me. Second take, the room goes still. The engineer leans in. Jesse's fingers find the string like water finds a groove. Something breaks wide open, something honest starts to pour. Calloway stands up slowly like the sound has made him move. And the tape is rolling steady, catching every single sound. Every mile that Jesse traveled, coming through without a doubt. 6 strings on the tape now, midnight train's my song. Whiskey glass is empty, but my voice is finally clear. 6 strings on the tape now, this is where I belong. First time since Delilah left, I ain't running out of here. Second song's a slow one about a girl who caught a train. Jesse sings it soft the way regret is always sung. Calloway don't interrupt, just lets the tape keep turning. Says later that's the truest thing I heard from someone young. Third song's got some fire in it, a Chuck Berry kind of stomp, about the roads he's walked and the rooms he's left behind. Fourth song comes out different, slower, deeper, older, about a whiskey glass that's finally left behind his mind. When the tape stopped rolling, nobody said a word for a while. Calloway came out from behind the glass, took his glasses off and wiped them on his shirt. He said, son, I've cut 100 sessions in this room. Most of them sound like they're trying to be somebody else. You sound like Jesse Cole. That's rare. He said the label would press the 4th song first, the slow one about the whiskey glass. Said radio men in 3 states were already asking who the new voice out of Memphis was. Jesse didn't know what to say. He thought about the porch back home. His daddy's hands guiding his fingers to the right frets. And he thought somewhere that old man was listening too, even if it was just the wind carrying the sound down south. They step outside where Beale Street's humming in the evening. Calloway lights a cigar and claps him on the back. Says Thursday's gonna
watching daylight fade to black. Yeah.
Silence calls out, give us everything. Just as harmonica answers, everything I got. Read against the quiet of the empty room. Two sounds weaving through a melody.